Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. As the government continues to expand healthcare services across the country, a $34 million infectious disease center was on Thursday commissioned in Lethem Region 9.
And with a population of some 6,000 people living in Lethem and some 25,000 people living throughout Region 9, it is important that we invest in a holistic manner in the development of your region, just like we're doing in other regions of Guyana.
In modernizing Guyana's health sector and extending access to adequate health facilities to all region, several health centers in Region 9 are slated for upgrades into smart facilities.
In the near future, we will have smart health centers at Anai, Karasubai, and Aishalton, with Aishalton being able to conduct surgeries. So you won't have to, if you have the requirement for a minor surgery, you don't have to come all the way to Lethem. It can be done there at Aishalton at the end of that upgrade.
To celebrate its 21st anniversary, the Guyana Water Incorporated hosted a health fair and blood drive to underscore the importance of health and well-being for its staff and customers. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony highlighted the importance of a balanced diet, regular exercise, and sleep.
If you're able to do these things together, then it helps you to stay healthier. And one of the most important things of staying healthy is that you also have to stay connected to people, connected to family.
Schools across the country will soon benefit from a health and wellness program for students to adapt a healthy lifestyle from an early age.
We are going to be launching a program soon in schools so that from very early we can start this wellness and healthy lifestyle kind of thing. But later we'll do that. And so we want, when we start that you encourage your children to come to this program and be part of the program.
Recognizing that smoking is one of the major contributors for chronic non-communicable diseases, the Ministry of Health on Wednesday opened its first tobacco cessation clinic at the Industry Health Center. The clinic is designed to help patients break the habit of smoking tobacco.
Smoking is one of the many risk factors that contributes to people getting some of these things. And we have been working very hard to try to get people to understand these risks. However, when we raise awareness, many persons would tell you that on their own, they're having challenges trying to quit. So that's why these clinics are so important, because if they need that extra help, then the clinic would be there for them.
The Ministry of Health's Chronic Disease Unit will implement the HEART technical package in 30 additional health centers and health posts to better manage hypertension and cardiovascular diseases. This initiative aims to better assist healthcare professionals in the prevention and early detection of cardiovascular diseases and hypertension.
We have about 386 or so health posts and health centers. We are probably now at 100 health centers where we have hearts. We are adding maybe 30 more. So we still have a far way to go to complete at least at these two levels. And that's what we have to keep in mind. And we need to set a target. So I think in the discussions, what we need to do is to set ourselves a target that within the next year or two, that we'll have comprehensive coverage of all our health centers and all our health posts. By the end of June, we'll have 20 sites in remote communities. Regions 1, we just established 4 sites in Regions 1. We've just over the last 2 days, we have put in 3 sites in Region 8.
This is in keeping with the administration's commitment to improving access to primary healthcare services. Minister Anthony revealed that in the new week, 4 additional telemedicine sites will be established in Region 7. Telemedicine sites have already been established in Region 9. Residents of Swan Village, Wayakabra, and Kurukururu along the Susdek-Linden Highway are now benefiting from the government's Wi-Fi GY initiative. The program aims to make internet connectivity convenient, accessible, and free for all residents, ultimately bridging the digital divide in the community.
Today, with this Wi-Fi GY facility, you have an opportunity to build on what you already have. You have an opportunity to use the internet to enhance your own skills, to enhance the work of the community.
The bilateral relation between Guyana and the Dominican Republic will enhance further as the nations are looking to develop the agriculture sector.
Two areas of cooperation Guyana can support the DR in climate resilience technology, things like shade houses. Guyana can provide technical assistance in the construction of shade houses for niche vegetables, exchange of expertise and technical know-hows. The Dominican Republic has a well-developed agricultural sector and can share its expertise with Guyana in areas such as coffee and cocoa.
The capacity of the Guyana Fire Service has been enhanced with the delivery of over $273 million in equipment and vehicles. They include a $255 million hydraulic platform, a $8 million bus, and a $9.8 million ambulance.
The acquisition of the new ladder truck, for want of a better word, is in response to the fact that we are having new high-rise buildings in the country, that the building construction, the mode has changed, and therefore the responses in relation to fire protection has to be different and new. So this was this response: more ambulances, the two ambulances, and the new fire ladder truck.
A number of opportunities will soon become available to residents of the Susdek-Linden Highway as a major developmental plan is underway by the government and private sector.
Already, we have been working at the highway development plan, which would be a plan that will see greater and greater investment on the highway in terms of infrastructure through the government and the private sector.
Residents of Craig and Friendship on the east bank of Demerara can expect significant changes in the aesthetics of their communities as the areas are set to undergo infrastructural development. This was announced by Minister of Public Works Bishop Juan Edgel when he inspected the infrastructure in the community. As part of the government ensuring home ownership becomes easier, 81 allottees of Tract CHPA Housing Scheme Lethem Region 9 received their certificates of title. Since August 2020, 580 persons have been assigned homes in the area. Government has committed over $1 billion to construct the housing project.
That means developing the drainage, developing the road network, culverts, catering for the water to put the pipe system in place, etc. Water for that area, in fact, we're at the tendering phase, so maybe within a month we expect an award will be done. So I want to give myself 3 months at least, you must have and well developed in that area. We're drilling a new well to service that area and anybody within that environment.
Government's investment in the water sector over the past 21 years has resulted in the improvement of water quality and supply.
I think, in 21 years, you can actually see the difference that it has made. The investments that government would have made over the years to improve the quality of water, not just, just providing water, but providing treated water. I think that is very important.
Residents of Kukwani Region 10 have signed up to receive their agreements of sale and began the process of acquiring their land title documents. This initiative focused on individuals occupying lands in Kukwani Housing Scheme Phase 1, 2, and 3, Park Podville and Chine Lane.
We have up to 200 persons who can sign for commence the process for their agreement of sale and to the processing of their certificate of title. that can be done from those 3 areas.
13 low-income families in Sophia became proud owners of brand new core homes through the Ministry of Housing and Water's Adequate Housing and Urban Accessibility Program.
While you also see a lot of attention being paid to house lot allocation, the focus is on home ownership as it should be. So helping people to get into their own homes.
The Eccles to Diamond 4-lane highway on the East Bank Demerara is progressing accordingly to schedule and is expected to be completed by August. This was announced by President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali Wednesday during a community engagement in the Eccles housing scheme.
By the end of August, the 4-lane road to Diamond will be completed, going all the way through this highway. In another few weeks, we will be expending resources to continue that highway from Diamond to Busby Dam.
Over 214,000 children from public and private schools will benefit from the Because We Care $35,000 cash grant as government will commence distribution across the country from June 5th. The increase of the grant to $35,000 together with the $5,000 for school uniform will ensure every school child receives $40,000.
So next Monday, we begin to distribute to families across this country financial assistance for their children's schooling. As you know, we promised that we would give every family a financial assistance every year. This year, that sum is $40,000 per child.
Both Guyana's maritime and oil and gas sectors had their capacities boosted as supply vessel company G Boats launched and christened 2 tugboats. The vessel will be used to support the operations of ExxonMobil in towing or guiding larger ships, barges, and floating production, storage, and offloading vessels, FPSOs, into their allotted docks.
We have what it takes now as a nation to use our resources to make sure this country develops equitably and equally, rapidly. And I believe we have that evidence before us.
Guyana and the Dominican Republic on Thursday signed 3 pacts to strengthen collaboration between the two countries, which included a Memorandum of Understanding MOU on cooperation in energy-related matters. The agreements encompass energy, agriculture, tourism, trade, information technology, ICT, infrastructure, and industry. The two nations agreed to collectively advocate for the growth of small developing states. This includes addressing challenges related to food and energy security, as well as the impact of climate change. The economies of Guyana and its Caribbean counterpart, the Dominican Republic, are expected to benefit from a tremendous boost in their near future. The economies of Guyana and its Caribbean counterpart, the Dominican Republic, are expected to benefit from a tremendous boost in the near future, following a private sector engagement between the two countries. Discussions were held at the Arthur Chung Conference Center on Thursday on key areas of interest including infrastructure, tourism, manufacturing, natural resources, and agriculture. With youths playing a vital role in the country's development, government has remained committed in providing various avenues for them to excel, including sports.
But football and all the other sports in our country, we are looking to enhance it. Not only cricket, because traditionally, over the years, a lot of emphasis was normally played on cricket only, but we have to develop the all-round sports.
Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vindya Prasad has restarted government's mantra of empowering youths, especially those who had brushes with the law.
The government is deeply committed to the young people of this country, and we have collectively spared no effort in developing programs in ensuring that their policies and even looking at the legislative arm, ensuring that there are strong pieces of legislation that protect young people in this country.
Youths across Guyana are encouraged to join the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Young Influencers program. The ministry recently kick-started its registration process on May 29, targeting persons between the ages of 15 to 25 from all 10 administrative regions.
We've opened a registration process, which will be about 2 weeks long, and that's
started from yesterday to encourage more people, more young people, to be a part of a program that gives them exposure nationally and internationally. So the exposure they will have and the training behind that exposure, whether it's on public speaking or it's on all the services of the ministry, that is a solid foundation that gives them the ability to engage, to develop their own strategies, and to also come up with solutions that affect youth in their community.
Given that the size of Guyana's economy has tripled over the last 3 years, Minister of Finance Dr. Ashni Singh has stressed that every sector has massive potential for expansion and investment. The finance minister was speaking at the private sector engagement at the Arthur Chung Conference Center on Thursday.
The result of this extraordinary rate of real growth in the Guyanese economy is that the size of the economy has tripled over the last 3 years. And similarly given the extraordinary rate of growth, what we have observed is the emergence of new opportunities in literally every single sector of the economy.
He highlighted several similarities between the economies of Guyana and the Dominican Republic, such as those in mining, agriculture, and tourism sectors. These similarities provide ample opportunities for synergies and partnerships. Further, the local content legislation has provided the incentives for investors to partner with Guyanese companies. The name of the Parliamentary Library at Public Buildings Georgetown was changed on Friday to honor Frank A. Narine, who is the longest-serving clerk of the National Assembly. The facility is now called the Frank A. Narine Parliamentary Library. Narine, who served for 36 years as a clerk, has made invaluable contributions to parliamentary democracy in Guyana. The library is the hub of the Parliament's capability to deliver competent, timely, non-partisan information services to the general public.
We have 70 years of parliamentary democracy and 70 years of challenges with many, many hurdles, stumbles, but many successes. And the Parliamentary Library, as detailed by Sherlock, is one of the successes. Our democracy is a work in progress. Our library is the storehouse, the warehouse of all that we have done and other parliamentary democracies.
This brings us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.